done for one other person and not be done to another person.
This Jesus Amofe, the pastor who is also in the custody of the police, people like him, don't they give men of the cloth a bad name with all these prophecies in public? If you have seen something about somebody that is negative, the argument is, why not tell the person quietly? Why go to a media platform and blast this thing out? Aren't they making you look bad?
That is why I'm saying that, in fact, many people make people look bad, to be honest with you. A lot of journalists make journalists look bad. A lot of lawyers make lawyers look bad. A lot of doctors make doctors look bad. So that one is something to human nature. In every community, you have the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Then let me flip it around. Why are Ghanaians so consumed with prophecies? Ghanaian Christians, why are they so consumed? Somebody says something and then you're so quick to believe it.
The truth is that the percentage of people who get carried away with those things are very minute. You know what makes this thing popular? Social media. And it's the press, the media, that makes some of this thing trend. Some of the things that we hear are things that should not fly in other places. But because we become little-minded and very inquisitive-minded, we want to hear, yes, say, and that's what. But hear me, prophecies are true and real. As a Muslim sheikh, he will tell you it is true. As a pastor, I will tell you it is true, except that the problem we have is that we seem to be abusing everything, and we undermine the very credibility of this great gift of prophecy. We must educate the people, and what I'm saying is that the law is the law. If you prophesy, it doesn't come true. You know, in the olden days, if you give a prophecy that doesn't come true, you are stoned to death.
You want that to come back?
Today, people can stand anywhere and go and give a prophecy and get away with murder. And whether it comes true, it doesn't come true. But you know what? People are fizzling out. People are being realized. The truth is being seen. At the end of the day, you and I will not call names, but we know who are true prophets and who are not true prophets. And for me, that is the most important thing. You know when somebody says this is going to happen or this should have happened, and then you realize that you read from between the line. Don't we even have prophets today who prophesy in the name of politics? And then you can tell, you sit back and you realize that if this is what the prophecy is all about, then let me go and sleep. And so we are getting there where gradually Ghanaians are becoming very discerning, and very soon certain people, I don't want to give this reference, but remember what happened to Apreku, my daughter. It's a very sad situation, and sometimes I don't want to be referring to it, but he was given a prophecy, was supposed to have come from God. And then they asked him, what did God say? Apreku, my daughter. It means God didn't know the difference between daughter and son. This was how the doom began. And so at the end of the day, you cannot impress people. You cannot impress the people of God. God himself has his way of protecting people. And so some of these things, I keep saying that we should not just be at the doorstep of the churches. There are a lot of lawyers who are not correct. There are a lot of journalists who are not correct. They are not in the Bible, from Quran and Bible time today, we've had fake prophets. We have false prophets. And so we still have them. We just have to wisen up and have knowledge for ourselves, understanding for ourselves, so that we will not be swayed by things. But these things are bound to happen. It's a human nature. Don't you have politicians who, when they say good morning, you have to look at your watch? You do. Don't you have journalists that you expect them to know better, and yes, they do things, and you wonder that with all the pedigree of this gentleman, he should not be doing this. So by all means, we'll have that. We just have to pray and inform ourselves and make sure that we create an awareness, so we all not be swayed into this manner. It's very unfortunate. I feel very sad for Shatawale. There is somebody who calls me daddy and refers to me, and you expect him to know better. And he's a fine young man. So he should wake up. Maybe this is a wake-up call to all of us, that the law is not respect of persons, and that if we continue to do things like that, we don't just undermine our own credibility, we undermine the credibility of the vocation in which we are.
All right, just joined us. This is GTV Breakfast. My guests are Dr. Lawrence Teta and Sheikh Arimi Shaibu. We looked at the headlines, we looked at the funny face shatter issues, and some comments are coming in. I want to read them. 055-556-1034. Adam from Kaswa. I like the Muslim brother. He's full of wisdom. Keep it up. Thank you very much, Adam. Salam alaikum to you. Please, Alhaji, Sheikh just came out with a proverb. I want him to repeat that again. You said something. You said a couple of things in tree. You said something about washing your hands.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. To it,
What it means is that if a child knows how to wash his hands, he will eat with the elders.
Okay, wash your hands before you have breakfast. We don't want you to pollute yourself. Let's look at a headline in today's Ghanaian Times. Accepting LGBTQI plus will be undermining the nation's culture and values. The founding president of the Worldwide Miracle Outreach, Reverend Dr. Lawrence Teta, that would be you, right?
I think so.
Yes. Has proffered that accepting activities of LGBTQI plus will be undermining the nation's culture, values, and norms. You come there, but I want your thoughts on this, and I would like to just refer you to a comment I saw in today's graphic which deals with the issue, because you have on page 45, there's a comment here from somebody who says, MPs have better things doing than passing anti-homosexuality bill. This is a comment by one public health physician, Dr. Samuel Du. There are some who believe that this is just a waste of time to be debating this bill, but your co-panelist is saying otherwise. He says accepting this particular trend, behavior, will be undermining the nation's culture and values. What are your thoughts on this?
You see, the statement by the health expert for me is most unfortunate. I think it gives me a sense to feel there's a certain paucity in our knowledge about why people are in politics and why do we put people in our parliament. In fact, they are not just there to make rules and seek just, our material advancement. Our laws are built on our values as Ghanaians, and our values are emanations of our identity, that which forms our identity as a group. That's why there's something we call a Ghanaian and something we call a Nigerian. There is something that distinguishes a Ghanaian from a Nigerian, from a European, and so on and so forth. And those are the things that give shape to the laws that we make. And so I give strong commendation to the 8 parliamentarians who stood. Their courage is commendable. In fact, they have given me a sense that still we can have politicians today that can be mindful and they want to work, to maintain our values. They are not there just to make money and to take advantage of our political offices and build themselves. Look, politics is a serious business. We don't engage politics just to line up our pockets or to shoot up into fame and for the pride of our families. Politics is a means by which we go through certain processes to obtain public office in order to render meaningful service to our society.
Okay, let me put to you some of the things that this doctor said. He says, and I quote, "Why is Parliament wasting time on a bill that affects a small percentage of the population? How many people are known to practice homosexuality in this country? If this bill is passed into law, how will the law be enforced?" He thinks it's a waste of time.
The destruction of an organ in human body begins from just one cell. He's a health expert. What are the smallest units of our formation? Any body that you see, we are made of cells. And cells, the destruction of any organ begins with a cell. So anything, and society, you see, society is the conglomerate of families. And the families are the society in microcosm. They are the smallest unit of society. So if you like, call them the cells of society. So if you want to destroy, and I want to make this statement strongly, you want to destroy society, begin by destroying the family.
Who wants to destroy Ghanaian society?
Yeah, now these practices, and that brings me to my strongest argument. But the thrust of my argument is that LGBTQA plus is a war and a threat against the family, the survival. I'm not even talking about the family values yet. The very survival of the family is what is under attack.
Who are soldiers in this war?
The soldiers on this war are the practitioners, and for the practitioners and the proponents. The practitioners and the proponents who are now enforcing this. Look, how terrible this thing is. I went to the old man, yes, when this debate began again. In fact, Doctor, you were there together with him, and he said he wanted to team up with the chief imam. I remember very well. Yeah, on the same subject. So this time when it came back again, I just went inside. Of course, I mean, Oman doesn't watch TV. He doesn't read newspapers. He doesn't listen to radio. So that's his life. I mean, so we hear things and we go and then tell him. So, but in order to use a language that will make him understand, he knows about the biblical and the Quranic Sodom and Gomorrah, homosexuality. I mean, he knows about it from the scripture. But that the byproducts and the offshoots that we are seeing today, he's not aware of them. So I gave him an illustration. I said, old man, how bad the thing is one day you are here, your son will come to you and say, old man, you see, you get back to me, I'm as a male, but I feel I'm not a male. So I want to go and get a doctor so that he will change me and become a female. Look, old man, look, I say, huh? That's how your old man behaves. Say, huh? Is that how? What is that in the white man's country? That's what is happening. That's what we are being called to do. That's how come he quickly said that we have to do something, and then I told him one of the things we could do is to do press conference or to do. That's how we recently did the press conference. That is how bad this thing is. And what is even worrying about is the plus. What is it goes into infinitum. We do not know what the dimensions. It goes on and on.
You're scared of the plus.
That's even what scares me. That is even what scares me. And so that's why I'm saying, and anything about the LGBT is contrary to God's plan with respect to the survival of the family.
What is
the survival of the family. God's plan created a human being and created him to be born into a family where he will be the first social environment where he will see love, good training, raised to meet the standard of God as in biblical terms. Let's create man in our image and likeness in the Quran to become the representative of God on earth. That's what God made us. So that family is the property of God. It's a sacred unit of society. It's the property of God. That's why every single human being, I'm yet to see a single human being that was not born in the family. Even from the biblical side and the Quranic side, Jesus Christ was born by a woman without an intervention of a father, of a physical father, but he was born into a family. So his family chain can be traced. If you go into the Bible, it gives you the lineage. He was born into the family, and the family was supposed to be a righteous family.
Let me bring in Dr. Tete on this. So you were quoted in the paper today's Ghanaian Times saying accepting LGBTQI plus will be undermining nation's culture, values. The good Sheikh is talking about the family being the property of God. And then there are others who question whether Ghana is a secular, are we running under secular rules? Is Ghana a theocracy? Why, and I've heard these arguments, why is religion being used to make these arguments? How do you respond to these people?
To begin with, I think my brother Sheikh has said it all. You know what? Political language is a borrowed language. Economics, I did economics, I did international relations, are all borrowed languages. What is good for America is not necessarily good for Ghana. And what is good for the United Kingdom is not good for Ghana. When you go back to the United Kingdom, you can only marry one wife. If you attempt to go and marry the second one, it's bigamy. That is their culture. So when you go there, you don't have a choice. If you love two girls, you have to make sure that one is official. The other one, only God knows how you want to put that together. But we come here, we also have values. My biggest challenge now, and as we speak now, is that I agree with my brother. It's unfortunate that the very elite we have in society, who are supposed to be breaking down the hazards to us, and the unfortunate situation we'll be inheriting and be coquetting through this, are the very people who are spearheading it. I'm sad.
Are you referring to these concerned citizens who are opposed to the passage of the anti-LGBTQ plus bill?
Very much so.
The 18.
These are people we respect in society.
Seriously.
These are people we have a lot of admiration for. These are people we are supposed to be learning for. These are people who Ghana money educated. Muslim school, Christian school, the heritage, the taxes of Ghanaian educated. And if this is what they are paying us back, then we need to watch again. It is that kind of spirit that seems to be entering some of the politicians. That is why most of the politicians are white. They are quiet. And what I keep saying now is that there are a lot of people in parliament today who should be getting ready on their way out, because Ghanaians are very discerning now. The question is, what do we want to prove? I rather become politically right or lose my people. We must start thinking beyond the box and think that you want to impress the international community for what? At the expense of your life. The Bible says if you gain the whole world and you lose your life, what does it profit you? For once in the history of Ghana, we've gone back again to the days of boarding house, where Reverend Lawrence Tete and Shekari Mira are together in boarding house again. And we are together today now like never before. Politicians should not take us for granted. And the so-called science, they should go and think of how to solve COVID problem. Because COVID has made all the scientists naked. And so those who are making statements like this to prove international, great international jargon, to let people feel like they are speaking for the science, they should start waking up again. I am embarrassed that a Ghanaian community, certain people are being quiet. Today, I am calling on all our political leaders. President Nanado, speak. President Gamama, speak. President Kufuor, speak. President whoever, everybody, all the leaders should speak. I'm happy with the way the Speaker of Parliament came out. They've called him many names, but I give him thumbs high. Yeah. We must all speak. When you speak, and for crying out loud, journalists speak, and we should stop staying in the middle, because what we are doing is that I've seen the hypocrisy of journalism this time like never before. There are certain people that we hold in a very high esteem. They sit on TV and they speak boldly, and in this thing they are hiding out. What are we looking for? At the end of the day, posterity will judge all of us, and we shouldn't forget that the people we see at Kotolante, the people we see in Sakema, the people we see in Sodom, some of them will be connected to us. So if we think we don't know it, our houseboys, our house girls, our cook, our drivers, by the time we infiltrate into them, our children, our boys and our girls will end up in it. So nobody should think they can escape this at all. Many years ago, what was said in the days of Esther, that if you don't do it, there's a reason why all of us are where we are. Today, some of us have been threatened. We are being called on name, but I'm happy.
You've been threatened?
I've been happy. I'm happy to be called every other name. In fact, there's even a website that has been created now. Some of us that we should be watched, we don't travel again. As if you don't go to America and you go to England, you don't eat again. There are people, I live in England. By the grace of God, there's no gainsay. My children and my wife carry British passport. I've lived in England for many years.
What would you do
if I don't go? I will stay here. My great-grandfather, how many times did he go to England? How many times has my cousin? I have cousins in Dodowa and Akotolante, Ebuko and Osu, who I don't think even knows how the plane looks like.
Are you surprised some of the MPs are worried that their visas are being denied?
That is how shallow we can become. That is how limited we become. And sometimes we lose sight of our value. You know what? Until we let people see the values that we believe in, nobody will respect us. This whole issue about LGBT++ is because we think there is a statement that can come from certain eminent human beings in Ghana here that will stop the nonsense. And I'm getting very worried that certain people will hold so much value to. And look at Ghana. President Rawlings married. President Kufuor married. President Atta Mills married. President John Mahama married. President Nanado, when his wife died, he married again. It means these gentlemen believe in the sanctity of marriage. So I'm expecting people to speak out. And if we get it from that point, a lot of the politicians there are not seeing what their leaders are standing for. And that's why they want to marry. If you're an MP, and you know that the head of your party is very particular about that issue, nobody will tell you to wake up. But I'm happy that certain people are not speaking, but the religious groups are speaking. So if you're a politician, wake up. The tomb is waiting for you in the next 3 minutes.
Sheikh, There's one religious man who's also a politician who is part of the 8 people.
In fact, it's one, before I even go there, there are 2 of them, Tim Fojo and Sam George. They are like my brothers to me, but I have very close relationship to them. And I've personally encouraged them, they should go on. If nobody goes, these 2 young men have proven that they are wiser than most of us. They have also shown that you can stand for the truth and you'll be supported. And I want us all to start praying for them. Tim Fojo and Sam George, they are young men. They are younger than all of us. And they've stood, they've seen the truth. So older people should see it better.
I spoke to the Reverend Fojo.
No, I've not spoken to him, but I've
just wondering how he feels with, because he's the only person in his party who is in that coalition.
Yes. And I think I applaud him for his courage and his consistency. I've heard him speak on Metro TV on the same subject, and whichever platform he has gone on. I mean, he was surrounded by people who called themselves scientists and atheists, and he was the only one who was talking in favor of the bill, and he stood his ground. So, and Sam George, I must mention him by name because of how he has conducted himself, the consistency, constantly, going at it and giving the reason why we cannot accept and approve of this kind of what in my own language I call as sexual aberration or aberrant sexual orientation, which the world is confronted with now. You had the issue about this issue. I think we need to contextualize this discussion very well, and also even the religious character of Ghana. That people are saying as if we are using religion to impose. Look, the politicians, when they want the biggest vote and they think that religion provides the biggest constituency, why do they come to the chief imam? Why do politicians come to the chief imam? He is not the president. He's not. He's only a religious leader, in our estimation, a very pious leader, a Muslim cleric who is a mystic. That's all. He leads me, as I'm a Muslim, so he leads me. Why do politicians, all of them, even when they are doing primaries in their internal politics, they come to him? Why do they so? They think that he wants a certain influence.
So they want to eat their cake and have it. Is that your
argument? I mean, that is it. You go to pastor, you go to all the big pastors, and
do they come to you?
You didn't come to them. In fact,
what do they want?
I said the only time where a Christian politician become a Muslim and a Muslim politician become a Christian is during election time.
You have the Muslim ones coming to you.
We do.
And Christians come to you too.
Yes. I mean, look, they don't come to they do come. They want his blessing. They do come. They bring their head.
They put their head down. What do they do?
They come, they kneel down, and the chief imam doesn't make discrimination. He said, "This is what you want. I'll pray for you."
Well, these guys in their VAs, they kneel down.
They come to him.
They kneel down.
Yeah. You see, and now they come and say Ghana is a secular. But I said to impute the view that secularism of a state means godlessness is conceptually incorrect.
But is that not what happens in the West?
I mean, for Ghana, you see, secularization is when you remove God from the equation, from all human affairs. Yeah, I will talk something about maybe the byproduct of humanistic thought, which is now giving birth to all these things, and what we call the hedonism, which is giving birth. But Ghana, we are a secular state, all right, but in thought and in values, we have a deep sense of God. That is why in our national anthem, which is a very important national symbol, we begin by God bless our homeland, Ghana. If we think we are a country that we didn't need God, then we should throw away this whole idea of national anthem beginning with God. In our constitution, we begin by in the name of Almighty God. In our national pledge, we ended up by saying that so help me God. In the oath of office, high office, anyone who occupies public office in this, he will end up saying, and so help me God. We do all these things. And you want to tell me that in spite of all these things, we are a godless country. That's why in Ghana we cherish religious people, because religion brings a lot of value to us. Like he said, let us not worry about the few religious people who have become aberrant and have done something wrong. But religion, look, let something happens in this country, and when citizens want a refuge, it is to his church and to the mosque that they all rush to.
Okay.
This is where they can find hope.
Let us take refuge in a short commercial, not a short commercial break, a short pause away from this conversation. We shall return. I promise you that. It's not a prophecy, it's a promise. I want to go to Valerie, who has our man Alan on the ground in a location of the Greater Accra region. All right, Valerie, please.
All right, thank you, Kav. Okay, so we're joining my colleague Alan. Alan is keeping an eye on something that he's going to tell us more about, but it's right here in the capital, Accra. The hashtag to follow is GTV Breakfast on all our social media handles. Alan, what can you report? I see it's not a gutter, it's a drain, an open drain. I see a little filth. Tell us what's happening where you are.
Hi, good morning Valerie and good morning Ghana. Welcome to Awoshin Brantier. This is in the Greater Accra region. This part of town is caught between two different constituencies. So to my left you have the Anya Ablekuma constituency, and then to my right you have what forms part of the constituency of the Honorable Sheila Bartels, or the Ablekuma North constituency. What you see behind me is a rather unfortunate open drain, and this drain basically is slowly taking the life of the people who live along this road. The name of the road is Ni Amasa Link or Ni Amasa Close. You have a parade of shops and also residents who live along this drain. It's an open drain, a supersized drain which collects water from upstream when it rains and downstream towards the Mala Market area, and then finds its way into the Chaba Lagoon and then into the ocean. Speaking to residents on this stretch of road, they express really very interesting views. In that, they explained that what you can see, if I step aside a bit, you will find two high tension poles on there. This is an 11,000 kVA power pole, and then you see a parade of workshops on there as well. And these workshops are losing the sand, the very structures under them where they have the shop is being washed away when it rains. And the fear they have here is eventually one day this high tension 11,000 kVA will come tumbling down as a result of the rain washing away the very structure it stands on, which is the ground where it sits. They have reported severally to these MPs, the MP Honorable Kusi and Honorable Bartels, including the MCEs as well as the assembly members under whose jurisdiction this drain is. They were promised just before the 2020 elections that this drain was going to be fixed, and up till today nothing has been done about it. They express really very profound sentiments. I'm going to bring one on, a man they normally refer to as Korea Boga, who lives along the stretch of road. Korea Boga and Patrobe coming home. Me ma kwa ba no pay. Ye ja opani. Aha GTV live. Me patcho e den ni nia opese o manfo o MP ene oni e ka ho e tiase wo akwan.
The MP enso o mo bua ye. Eye Dr. Kusini Sheila Bartels ade o mo bua ye e fa gota no ho. Gota no ade a wo mo gota no emwa ye ensuo yira no obi enam se ya no wa hu gota no okoto ma na nsuo ne de ne ye de na nsuo ne de ne ko eti ye ba kwa hwe no ebe hu no ebi Mala Market eni ebe tuto nsuo no sa ne akwa yi nipa no ye be yi nipa na wu de sia no ha tension esuwe nsuo ya rewia ma se se ebu ya kwa sempanimfuo na mehwe omo ba no ma ba tuto apapa so ano omo ko ese attention ye hwa ma na ba begu akum nipa ansa na ya de ye se nipa wu enti na ban no ma de ma bua ye ansa se sia no awohyi ha no ana ti nya adwuma wo hwe light pa akronfo si obi fi kromu ba na no krok no so no nsunu gujem efi se wanhwe yi a ye gine bag ye boni tuose si ana se ye woni se kan a woni ne ma e de ade no asembe no mo koka na se ma mi bi nam ha no sa na ka bo no na ne se itu ye na kokwachi wona bo bella MC na nimu wono baby omo ya gym no ni sire ni 2 ye akokọ hwi table so ama yi chese na ni enyan awo bro ni su hanom ka bo na ebo nipa chese ensemo akoso no
mami enhwe Korea sa ensuo yi mo betena so ye adwuma enti be sen ni
ye betena so no me fanse ebe 10 years ni ya betena so ye adwuma no be 10 years ni enti 10 years no ye nya na abo ho ban ebi ho ma nado na obi afa bola na odi ba begum ne na asefo ya ka enipa no bi ntie enti se si ye sra ban no se ekwan obefa so obeye gota no e de amaye no ope ne wo poma sibla bi na omeye gota no
mami malaji mram alaji kan ye ho alaji ententempa so korea aka bebre alaji na wo kire me se polu yi ahade enye no nkunu nya musuro na emom ne wo middle no nso eno nso wo haw ena fe ensuo to a ebufa so ema mo amfie ben ho no eyiri fa mo eden ne ne ma ya fa ho
oh de minua korea boga ekae no eye bia pepe but de ewom ne se aha no onu korea boga onu wonte ha
okay
but every blazing day bia owa until enwumire kura na obekọ ne fie nti nsuo bi kura atimi to kura no ono so eninemu ansa na nsuo ne ti a ansa na wakọ ne fie na nso ye na ye da ha sebe ye na ye vote man penifo no e na omo ba power aha ene ha ye menu nyina nsuo ha e ene se na wuka ene etu constitution ene sebe won se na wuka attention no won baby a me kire me nsase no o na nka face ni nsuo no wo
ena abua faase
I wish 2 years ni a umbe ya attention we ena afa saa na afi wo hwe baby akodo sebe the next year and the second year bibiom I say attention be form
me that say so as you've heard him, Valerie, as you have heard these residents have expressed different divergent views about that situation as it is on the ground over here. Unfortunately, when a constituency or a situation is caught between two constituencies, there seems to be a certain shifting of positions or blame on as to whose responsibility it will be to get the situation sorted out. Now, if this 11,000 kVA high tension comes tumbling down, that situation would be really very dire. Why? Because it would kill nearly everybody along the stretch, especially if it comes down in the rain. They are pleading and appealing to the MPs, Honorable Kusi and Honorable Bartels, the MCE, as well as the assembly members who are here at Awoshi Abrantie. They have mentioned not only this, but also thieves and robbers because of the street light situation. The street light does not function, and this is leaving them in a state of fear. This has been Keep an Eye coming to you live from Awoshi Abrantie. My name is Darrell Alantego. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alan, for bringing attention to those very, very disturbing scenes, and residents of that area are complaining, and from what we saw, guys, it's not pleasant. Why do we have so many open drains in Ghana? That's something we need to look at. The hashtag to follow is GTV Breakfast. I'm going to hand over to Kaf and his distinguished gentlemen who are still discussing what's trending in the newspapers, online, and social issues that's affecting the daily Ghanaian. Back to you, Kaf.
Valerie, thank you very much. We're going to get your response to a ton of messages that are coming in on what we are discussing. The WhatsApp number is 055-556-1034. If you haven't saved it yet, you know, if you're 055-556-1034, like lotto numbers, 1034. Okay, so this is a comment here. Good morning. The man is complaining like he's giving football commentary. Oh, allow. He has to describe the thing in a way, you know, Korea, but I feel I'm too much. But it's so sad. I wish he needs help. I agree. So that's good. You remember it because of the way he did the commentary, all right? Are your guests listening to the report? It's a long one, so I want to, please. Wow. Here we go. So today's message. Ask why they don't fight for the youth for jobs, yet they waste time with these rights and opinions of people who feel sexual perversion. Ghana is religiously entrenched, but we are as poor as church mice. And this one goes directly to you. Reverend Lawrence Tete should give us a break. Oh, he said COVID has made scientists empty. Religions could not give us vaccines, and should give us a break. So he says, listen, he doesn't understand your point, that the scientists are the ones who give the vaccines, not the religious people. What's your point?
I think that I believe that in all this discourse, we just use jargons. I thank God I'm a scholar myself. I went to university. So sometimes I keep saying that when it comes to these situations, it's not an academic debate, intellectual debate. We should break the things down to the people.
Okay. Break it down.
We break it down.
Okay. Sheikh, this is one same person for you. He says the Muslim communities are underdeveloped, yet you're not fighting for the development of them, and you think religion is just about preaching values, thinks that your thoughts and your actions are misplaced. You should be looking at developing your communities instead of going after gays and lesbians.
I think he doesn't know. See, we look at life in totality. Personally, I'm 64 years now. I just recently retired as a public servant. I was in charge of Islamic Education Unit. I was in the whole of the Greater Accra region. I was in charge of Islamic education. Yes, and we know our history. We accepted formal education very late, and we have been making progress. If he doesn't know, we have quite a big number of schools within the basic school level. You can check the statistics from the Ghana Education Service. There is no single region in this country where we do not have the office of the Islamic Education Unit. Universities are springing up. Just recently, through the effort between the Vice President and the National Chief Imam, 40 Muslim children were taken to Cuba to go and study medicine and come back.
So your point is things are happening.
Things are happening, but that we don't say because these are happening, because certain things are not going right. Then we can import the wrong things. Two wrongs do not make a right.
Is this the most important issue in Ghana today? That's an argument I also hear, that listen, guys, there are more important things to deal about. Is this the most important?
Okay, let me say something here, and I've said this on many platforms. I've lived in Europe, to be precise, in UK since the mid-80s. And as a pastor, I see people come out of walk-in clinics, men wearing pampers, sick people. There are a lot of logistics we're talking about today in Europe, where I've lived for many years, that we don't have in Ghana. We don't have them at Kolebu. We don't have them at 37. If we are allowing this kind of lifestyle to come, we are going to be in trouble. And today, I will tell you this with my eyes open. I do crusade at Kotolante. I do crusade at Kwao. If you know the number of boys and girls who come to you that they are positive hepatitis, they are positive HIV, they are positive with sexual transmitted diseases, and they tell you because of this lifestyle that they've gotten into it, you get rescued. The situation and the number is very alarming, and we should not play games and play politics with it. The fact that people are trying to politically right, and trust me, when I hear this, and I feel very sad and funny for them. We are academics, for trying out loud. I went to Budapest University of Economic Sciences, and I went to London School of Economics. So I'm not a dropout. Do you understand? I'm an economist by profession. And so we know these jargons, but when it comes to it, we break it down. If you notice, every language I put across, I try to demystify this thing as trying to get to academic discourse. You know what that is? That is it's a decoy to let us shift away. We are talking about human rights when somebody is sleeping with his daughter. We are talking about human rights when another man is sodomizing another man. We are talking about human rights when somebody's life is getting into a mess. It is a way of taking our focus from the things, the decoy. And that's why I keep saying that we should demystify the academic and intellectual jargon to come to that place where we practicalize it. For the woman at Tamale, for the woman at Mokola, the woman at Teshi, to understand that this is what is going to be happening to their children if they go into it. Last 2 weeks, I had a friend of mine, very sad gentleman, visit me with his 2 sons. One is 27 and one is 29. Both of them are HIV positive because they were all practicing homosexuality. Do you know how I felt like? One, I don't have that magic to say I'm taking it away. I'm not a prophet of doom to say I know something to do some nkonya for it to go. And a gentleman has come to me, my brother Lawrence, this is what I'm facing. And the children are sitting before me, wanted me to pray for them. Not only are they ready to come out of this homosexual act, but they are saddled with HIV as long as they live. And that's the only 2 children he has. These are the things we are talking about. And so when intellectuals and professors and scientists go out there in the name of making international name for themselves, I feel sad. Let's get back to this thing again. A lot of politicians are not speaking because they want international organizations to give them recognition and to help them. What did we use the IMF money for? What did we use the World Bank money for? What are we using the IBRD money for? Sometimes we cheapen ourselves. That if God cannot take care of us, then we should forget about that international. And the people don't respect us anyway. I schooled in Europe, and I know how we become a laughing stock when we begin to make jargon like this. Because the reason, there's an agenda. The agenda is beyond just a man sleeping with man. No. The agenda is to render us sick, render us homeless, render us depopulated, and there's so many reasons why this is being happening. So our politicians,
who is behind that?
That is not for this platform now. It's not for the
Tell me when the camera goes off.
It's not for this platform. So we should wake up. We should wake up. Why is the West so excited to get us into this kind of lifestyle? Why? What would they gain? What is it? This is a sovereign nation, and we say we don't want it. What is their problem? When they say they don't want polygamy in Europe, who forces this on them? So what is the United Nations saying? What is the League of Nations saying? So there's so much at stake, and I expect our political leaders and those of you who are journalists and with MAPI to get up. You know, the sad thing is that the very people who seem to spearhead this and trying to win international popularity and gain are the very people who secretly come to us to seek our attention. And as he rightly said, all the politicians become born again during the election time. I have done Methodist Crusade, Anglican Crusade. There is no president in Ghana in the Fourth Republic who has not come to my crusade at Independence Square before. You can go to me, of course, this is an international program. When you say lift up, they lift up. And when they say kneel, all of them, I've had a chance to pitch why they all seated in my crusade at the Independence Square before. And why did they come? So don't show humility on the platform. And when it comes to making statements like this, be quiet on it.
Are you disappointed?
I am sad. Disappointment is understatement. I'm very sad. I'm sad because there are certain people you think by now they will spearhead this thing. And trust me, certain people in Ghana, if they make one statement, this nonsense will stop. Because at Parliament, certain people will wake up that if this is what my leaders stand for, how can somebody even get up and insult the Speaker of Parliament because he spoke? If certain political leaders, and we have three main political leadership here, the CPP, the NDC, and the MPP, if for once they come together to make a statement, this whole hula balloon will be over. We are a sovereign nation. And for what? That America will not give you visa again. Oh, shame. That you don't go to London again. There are certain people, the amount of blessing God has given them here, they don't even need to go to Togo to live forever. God has blessed you. So if you cannot count your blessing at this stage and just take your life for granted, in the name of what? Now, what are we talking about? To promote homosexualism, and that is something we're defending about. It's a shame. Our streets, our hospitals, our homes, our families, we just look at a drainage system. We have all this to be saddled with. Why do we bring more cars? I believe that we should wake up again and go back to the drawing board. Something is missing. And if we don't take care, the very thing we think we are protecting, we are losing it, because Ghanaians are very discerning now. No, we should forget about this intellectual discourse. People try to make the thing academic, and then they make the thing, and then we should break it to the people. Trust me, I'm happy. I'm also a classroom person. Yeah. We should break it down.
Yes. Your final comment? Yeah, I think we need to applaud the former Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Speaker Mike McQuay. He made a very forthright statement, just like President Atta Mills did. He said he will never even lead a discussion on this subject because it goes against his religious doctrines and principles. The current Speaker of Parliament also did the same. In fact, he came to the Chief Imam. Chief Imam applauded him for taking that position. I want to say that LGBTQ, the strongest argument is that it's a war, an attack against the very survival of the family. And I think that is the context. It is not about constitutionality. The subject we are dealing with goes beyond human rights issues and constitutionality and issues of legal things. And that's why you found those people that I respect so much who paraded themselves together. These are legal experts, academicians, under whose laps we put our children to teach and bring them up as future presidents, future imams, future pastors in our country. And this is the mindset that they are given. The philosophy, I say, is humanistic and hedonistic. And there's a byproduct of those.
Meaning pleasure seeking.
Pleasure seeking without, and then the freedoms that also gets in this. For anybody who wants to read about hedonism can go and read it. Humanism is the philosophy that the human being is the maker of his own destiny. In other words, remove God from human.
Not accountable to any.
No. Any higher power who gave us our creation and guided us and gave us, inspire us with all those values. He no matter. They say he is completely irrelevant and unnecessary in human affairs. That is the byproduct that we are taking from humanistic thought, and hedonism is to pursue pleasure without even recourse to what it brings to you. There's no pleasure would be about what edifies life. And so my warning, I have said, those people who have come out are my friends. I talk to them, I ask them to embark upon soul-searching thought, and they will understand how deadly this thing is. It's an aberration, so a violation of natural order. Let me put this last question. Why do women give birth? Excuse my language. Why do women give birth? Why don't they give birth through the oral, the buccal orifice?
The mouth.
The mouth.
Yes.
Why do women give birth or through the anal orifice? It is to show that God has a certain natural order in which he puts us, and he says he created us in the best of make.
So the vagina is our entry into the world.
Thank you. I just want to go mention it directly.
It's like an
No, but the anus is an exit. So you cannot use that as an exit
to the world.
That's what God made the world to be populated by men and women to be put together. Okay. When Adam was created and God saw that his world was insufficient, when he wanted to add the component, he didn't bring another Adam. He brought a woman, and that's how the world was populated. And so that's why I said the family is the property of God. Okay. And any philosophy that attacks it must also be fought with all the elements.
Final issue. So South Africa, Mozambique, Sao Tome, Cape Verde, Lesotho, Seychelles, they have laws that which colonial laws which criminalize homosexuality, which have been overturned. What would be your feeling if Ghana did not pass this anti-LGBTQI law?
Ghana will pass it. I tell you, Ghana will pass it. Politics are about numbers. If you put even the Muslims and the Christian community just together, we make the numbers. Politicians are smart. They are only cowards, but they are smart. And so after all the deliberation, every smart politician will realize that if you kick against this bill, you are in trouble. And so eventually, we'll have no choice. And remember, this whole jargon is to test our pulse. Okay. But I've called for something that we need a massive united front. I went to the chief imam. Sheikh will tell you. I spent time with the chief imam in them, and I asked the chief imam, will Abida marry Memuna? No. Will Peter marry Paul? No. Will Aisha to marry Abiba? No. Will James marry Joseph? No. Even the devil didn't go for a male. The devil went for Eve. So we have to wise it up and realize that what we are fighting with is a deep ploy to destroy our nation. And already we are saddled with many things already. So, and when I did a crusade, this nonsense must stop, I meant it.
Hashtag this nonsense must stop, yes. Reverend Lawrence Tete. Like before we go, I think Sheikh likes it too. Let's a quick thing on IDEG, because I know you and IDEG are good friends. IDEG is not enthused about the selection of MMDCEs. The current way it's being done has brought a lot of confusion in the system. People attacking other parties, and there's a lot of confusion. And they would wish that it would change. Look at the modern criteria which MMDCs are nominated, which includes standing relationships with the party, whether some make contributions to winning elections, mobilizing people, and competence. Dr. Akwete feels that there should be a better way. Could we not just solve this thing by getting people to vote their MMDCEs? Would that not be the best way in this country?
Well, an attempt was made, and it was overturned, because people are saying that, well, politics will further divide the society if you bring it at the lowest level of our governance, and so therefore make it more of something appointed, or if you like, selective. That's what people, but probably they are saying that we are being hypocritical, because even still with this kind of system, politics is still partisan. It's partisan. Yeah. So therefore, make it. And for me, it is. If you ask me, I say, look, it will even offer the smaller parties the opportunity to begin to build themselves from the lowest level of governance level.
Represent at that level.
You are represent. In fact, that is where even development begins from. So if we can do it that way, so even though you are not the president, you are not this thing, you still, and then you begin to build up from there. So I will go with it. And for me, that will also show our political honesty.
Okay.
This hypocrisy must stop.
In addition to
this nonsense must stop.
Is this part of the nonsense which must stop?
That's what I'm saying. In all sphere of our life, there are a lot of nonsenses. You know, I've had a chance to go to some of the elections at the final day. I've been to a couple of them, and you can tell that something has just happened. And as much as we want to get it right, we need to revamp. We need to revamp our entire political system.
Okay.
We need to do what is good for Ghana, and not what is good for the West. And I keep saying that economics and politics are borrowed languages. So when we borrow those languages, we must know how to implement it well to make sure it suits our community. We have a responsibility in that regard.
Hashtag
we do.
This
nonsense must stop.
Unfortunately for me and for all of you, this segment must stop. Hashtag. But I want to thank very much Dr. Lawrence Tete, President and founder of Worldwide Miracle Outreach. When's the next event, big event?
It's going to be at Manchagbona.
Okay, maybe.
In December.
In December. Yes. Okay, thank you. All the best with that. And Sheikh Ariyal Shaibu, spokesperson for the National Chief Imam. What's new on your end, sir? Any new things coming up that we should be aware of?
Not really. The Chief Imam is planning to do his biggest celebration of the Prophet's birthday.
Okay.
And that will come in November, and that's what we are planning now. And I'm sure this same subject will be an important subject.
Don't let him go and say, huh?
Will you give me 1 second to congratulate the Chief Imam?
Okay.
He's shown true leadership. He's embraced the Christian fraternity and he's led this war. And I want to say congratulations to him. I know the Chief Imam speaks Ghana better than I do.
Yeah, he speaks to
Ghana. But I want to say, anytime we've had a chance to visit him on this matter, he's spent time with us.
Okay.
And so I want to thank him. And I thank all the pastors. But please, those of you who are not speaking yet, I beg you, begin to speak. Because your silence will mean giving room to the evil. And you yourself, posterity will judge all of us if we do it right.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
I hand you over to Valerie, who will take it away with Jay.
We'll do that right now. Okay, so guys, we're keeping an eye with Jay, and we're looking at how to solve unemployment via agribusiness. And so he's bringing us some, there he is, he's in a shot. Jay, let me not take the wind out of your sail. What's happening? How are we solving unemployment?
Okay. Thank you so much, Val. Good morning once again. Welcome to Keep an Eye. My name is Jay Gabra. You know, back in the day, when you're looking for a job, even before you graduate, the job is out there waiting for you. But nowadays, the job market has changed drastically. You find people go and do degrees, and then once they bag the degree, they pursue their passion. For instance, you have a lawyer pursuing makeup and fashion designing. You may have a doctor pursuing comedy. You see, a lot of people have changed, they've diversified in order to make ends meet. So this morning, I'm at the University of Ghana, the School of Agriculture, where they've also started an innovative concept dubbed design thinking, which they believe also help mitigate the graduate unemployment situation we have in the country. I've been fortunate to be joined by the dean of the school and a facilitator for the program. Okay, and then I have been joined by Professor Irene Susanna Eji. She's the dean of the school, and Mr. Green, who is a facilitator for the program. Good morning, people, and welcome.
Good morning. Good morning.
So, Prof, and we have a few minutes. So, if you can just tell us briefly how this project began, the design thinking and the background to all this. Thank you.
So, in 2019, there is insect institution in Kenya. They put out a call to respond to doing some things like this that will create knowledge hubs and encourage startups among students. So I responded and created as one of the outputs Design Thinking Development Center, where we are training students in the design thinking approach itself. It's what we call a human-centered approach that allows people to change mind because they want to reflect what society wants in terms of sustainability and entrepreneurship, product development, so that whatever you are doing it to reflect the human want. And today what we want is circular economy activity. So the second output was a garden that will show to these students, faculty and staff that you can recycle anything, improve your soils, do vegetables, do some animals, do let it be entrepreneurial site that do business with it. So that is what we are showcasing in this garden. In the end, we will integrate the course itself in our courses in the school so that students will continue to take it either as an option or you can make it as a core course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Inspiring words there from Prof this morning, so we can help mitigate based on all these that she's saying. Mr. Green now will take us quite briefly through what we have here. So Mr. Green, what are we looking at this morning?
What we are looking at is aubergines, watermelon, cucumber, lettuce, cauliflower, cabbages, green onions, tomatoes, butternut squash, and then garden eggs. Okay. And then also onions. Over there, you can see.
Okay.
Yep.
What do we have in the cages over there?
What we have in the cages there are catfish.
Oh, hold on. Before you mention that, I see Prof is seated.
This is a green classroom.
Okay.
Where we organize classes every Friday. We see that students come here and then we teach them. We raise our tent because of the sun, and then we all get seated on the materials that you see around.
Okay. So we don't have that much time. So if you can just take us, I see some animals and I see a container over there. Briefly, what that's all about and why people should become involved in things such as Q.
The container you see there is containing catfish, and then also you have the small blue container there, which I use it to concoct my insecticide, organic insecticide. And then you see some containers, some small containers over there, which is that as a nursery tray or nursery materials. You need not to buy nursery trays from the shop. These takeaways, quite often throw them away. You can collect them and then you build your nursery in it. Okay. And then from there you can transplant them or send them to the field.
Okay. I would just like to ask the Prof briefly. Oh, okay, I don't. What's this?
This is also lolly ties. You can see. So instead for you to send it to Agbabrushi to bend in order to you can use it as your side.
Okay.
So it's a form of land.
Okay. So Prof, I just want to come to you.
Okay, so that was Jay, and who spoke to some people about how to venture into agribusiness as a way of curbing unemployment. And still to come, we're looking forward to a particularly interesting one-on-one with he's the first Ghanaian teacher to be part of the top 10 finalists of the Global Teacher Prize Award, and he's a teacher at Achimota, so we can see a lot of messages from you guys and everybody's excited. We are going to have that one-on-one with him. T is already sitting down with him to have that one-on-one, guys. And so the hashtag to follow is GTV Breakfast. Remember to share. Just share our page on Facebook, like and share, invite others to share as well. And so join the insightful conversation coming up shortly, guys. It's still GTV Breakfast.
Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show.
not killed anyone. I just do galamsey.
Your Honor, since the accused has been in the dock for a while,
You promised to give me water. This water is coming from the gutter. It will make me sick.
Your Honor, that is it. Due to the galamsey activities of the accused and his cohorts, they have polluted all our water bodies. See, this water is coming from our taps. They have destroyed all our forests, and above all, the activities are killing people.
Mr. Eja, you have been found guilty of indulging in galamsey. And since you don't want to mention the names of your bosses, you have been sentenced to 25 years in prison. This is my judgment.
Please, I will talk. Mr. Francis is bad. Mr. Martin is bad. Mr. Usu. Please, Your Honor. Please.
Yenjai galamsey. Yenjai galamsey.
The show was a jar or bar anyone conquer dim.
The groom is sick.
What?
Malaria.
Malaria? Lufat.
Ejija wo malaria enka won to them. Lufat eye malaria drop ekope.
And now you may kiss the bride.
Entrance Pharmaceuticals and Research Center. And aye Lufat. Lufat etu malaria sentence. FDA ahwehwe sa edwede nkrato yi agya tum se eye.
And they go. When you want it, me best woman to you. When you want it, me best woman to you.
Thanks for staying on. We are talking about teachers today, and we are celebrating one in particular who has just joined us at the breakfast table. He made it to the final shortlist for the Global Teacher Prize 2021, and we know that the shortlist was from an original 8,000 nominations and applications received from 121 countries around the world. The Global Teacher Prize was set up to recognize one exceptional teacher who has made an outstanding contribution to the profession, as well as to shine a spotlight on the important role teachers play in society by unearthing thousands of stories of heroes that have transformed young people's lives. The prize hopes to bring to life the exceptional work of millions of teachers around the world, and one Ghanaian teacher has put our name on the map. That teacher was selected and has now made it to the top 10. A mathematics tutor of Achimota Senior High School. He has taught for 21 years with the Ghana Education Service, a trained teacher from the Mampong Technical Teachers College, now the College of Education Mampong, from 1997 to 2000, and has obtained his professional degree from the University of Cape Coast. That was in 2004 to 2008. In May 2015, he became an international leader in education program, having trained at Clemson University, South Carolina in USA. He has facilitated a series of workshops and has helped to bring the teaching of mathematics to make it easier for teaching for teachers, to make it easier to learn for students as well. So a big mathematics win for Ghana as well. I won't say too much, but ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce Mr. Evans O'Day, Teacher Evans, as Ghanaians would say, and I know that he's also an evangelist at the Covenant Methodist Church Behe Circuit here in Accra. So big win for Methodist. Yay, good morning. Reverend Bolabi Bote, Bishop of Accra Diocese, one of your members is making you proud. Teacher Evans, congratulations.
Thank you.
You're the first Ghanaian to make it this far.
Yes.
And I'm sure you must be very excited.
Sure.
How does that feel? To see your name among all the names from all these countries, to be the only Ghanaian there?
I feel good. Excited.
How do you make it to the top 10 of an award like this, the Global Teachers Prize? Do you have to be interviewed? What's the process like? How did you do this?
It all starts with National Teaching Council when they select their best teachers for the year. But they are using a similar program, similar criteria like that of the Global Teacher Prize. So what they do is you apply, and then they have they look at your community involvement, they look at innovations you've brought into the teaching field, they look at achievements you've made, recognitions. They also look at impact you've made in your other colleagues' life, in mentoring teachers, or maybe adding value to their life, or training teachers as well. So they look at a lot of things, and then they select their best 15 teachers in the country. So last year I happened to be one of the top 15 teachers in the country, and then when they got to the top 10, I was one of the top 10. And after the award ceremony, they made all the top 10 apply at the global level. And so this year, it was our 10, because we were top 10 2020. So top 10 2020 goes to top 10. So they applied for the global top 20. 2021, very good. And so we had a chance of applying. And we went through the process, and I was called for interview. And finally, I came to top 50. And it was amazing when I heard my name on top 50. I didn't know I could go to top 10 because it was very challenging, and I could see other people are doing great in other countries. But God being so good, I came to top 10.
The application, what actually did you submit? When you said you applied,
Yes.
what do you submit for a prize like this?
You have the criteria, and then you have pictures and videos to support whatever you say you are doing or you've done.
Okay.
So you go to the portal, and then you upload the story, and then pictures and videos to support that.
So in your case, what were you doing?
So
in the stuff that you submitted for the panel, what did they see?
A lot. they saw innovations that I brought into the classroom, especially as a teacher teaching mathematics. They saw my community involvement, the things I do outside the classroom. They saw the number of teachers I've been able to train and empower. They saw a lot of things I've been doing in the classroom to make mathematics more fun for students, and how they are able to make it after school. In fact, a lot of students that I've taught have made it big time. Some had awards in their various universities. I can talk of Aklasu, Amo Ebenezer and co. In fact, they really made it at the university level, where Amo became one of the best students in the University of Cape Coast. And so all this.
He was one of your students
that I taught. And it's amazing to see students leaving our hands, going out there and make it big.
So you go through a selection process in Ghana, and you go through another selection process elsewhere.
Yes.
And we're looking at the kind of names that are in the top 10, and they are coming from powerhouse countries that we think the educational system is arguably better, way better than ours. To be in the top 10 as all of them, but does it say anything about our own educational system, do you think?
Yes, it means that we are also doing well. Our system is helping us also to compete with the other teachers in other parts of the world. And the whole idea is, what are we doing to improve education globally? That is the most important thing. Because in my case, apart from the fact that I teach maths very well with technology, I also do video lessons, I upload them on YouTube, and people all over the world can get access to it and watch. And so other teachers also doing the same thing. They are also coming out with something that's not only for their country, but then to the globe as a whole. And so I believe that we are all doing equally the same. I mean, improving student performance, improving environment. So I believe that we are all doing the same.
So you're talking about using technology to weaponize teaching to impact more lives, even outside the immediate environs that we have. What do you think are the major challenges to teaching in general, especially teaching of mathematics in Ghana?
But the subject itself has a problem. I mean, people think mathematics is very, very difficult. People fear the subject. And so the attitude that people have before they even come to classroom to learn mathematics is even an issue to talk about. And so for you as a teacher to make it very fun, to make it more real for them to understand, I think you have to do extra, because the child will not even want to stay in a classroom. It doesn't like the subject. It doesn't see the essence of you doing mathematics. And so technology sometimes helps you to make it more real, to bring fun into the class. I mean, let them see the practicality of whatever they are learning.
Mm-hmm. We've had a team here before. I've forgotten which exact institution, but the conversation touched on the contributions of persons like Professor Anku, who passed away, God rest his soul. I'm sure you know him very, very well, and the impact, the legacy that he's left behind in teaching mathematics. The argument is to make the teaching of the subjects more practical and more relevant to today's problems. So for students to think that pi r square actually means something in real life, and it's not just something that is on paper.
Yeah.
Is that it seems like an idea that you share as well?
Yes, exactly. That maths is not about 1 + 1 being 2, but then we see it in real life situation. Yesterday, a student asked me a question in my class. I gave them question, they solved. She went through a whole lot of stuff, and the things they have to do so that that chemical will not destroy the skin, rather will just clean and then polish and make it better. The number of times it takes them to go through, that is what we are trying to build you into. We are preparing you for that future where you can solve problems in life, to bring something in reality. And so solving questions is not enough. It prepares your brain. And so mathematics is not about just learning x plus x being 2x, but preparing you so that you can have critical thinking, you can solve problems in life. Solving questions in math prepares you in solving problems in life. And that is what I want them to see as a bigger picture, not just solving s times s being s squared.
X and Y are always missing. I mean, all the letters are there, and X and Y for some reason, they are always somewhere. We have to find them. Bring X and Y back.
What motivates you? Because I'm sure that you've had some challenges. So maybe give us an idea of what those have been. What have been your most significant challenges, and how have you overcome them to get to this point? You're in the top 10 for a Global Teacher Prize. That is huge.
The challenges are a lot, but what motivates me mostly is the philosophy that I carry as a teacher. I always want to touch the future of the students that I teach. And so when I watch my students go and come and tell me the impact they've had, and so they go and they come back, and you feel that you are fulfilled, at least you've made impact into their life. And that motivates me a lot to do more for them.
So it's the impact you make in people's lives, and not the money that you make for teaching. But you feel appreciated?
Oh yes.
As a Ghanaian teacher?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Because I see the teaching as a call. And so since it's a call, that is the primary responsibility of me as a teacher. If God is to judge me based on the things I came to do, it may be based on the teaching that He gave me as a profession. And so I see teaching as a call. And so if it is a call, and that is what I'm doing to make God happy, then I must feel the joy of doing it. Even if you don't pay me, I still have to fulfill my primary mandate as a teacher to touch the life of individuals right from classroom.
So you feel the reward here, and then you know that you'll feel it in heaven.
Oh yes.
Okay, so we prepared a little special for you because we knew you were coming. So guys, we went to Achimota School. I'm seeing some of your messages. Let me see if I can go through just a few of this. This is from Bernard Bemini, and he's saying, congratulations, Mr. Mensah. Your labors shall never be in vain in Jesus' name. So your people are watching. I just switched on my TV and I got to say, I love that shirt. Thank you. So Teacher Evans is here, and he's talking to us about how he got his name on the top 10 finalists for the Global Teacher Prize. We went by your current school, Achimota School, and I won't say anything, but I just want you to watch this. Guys, let's have a look at this and we'll be back.
My name is Girlfriend from Mr. Evans. They popularly called Witty in Surgery School of Business. He taught me until 2016 to 2019, where I completed Surgery School of Business. He's a father and a friend to me because he still tutors me on what to do and what not to do. Because of him, I want to be a teacher. I've always thought he will go places with his teachers now. He leaves school to Tamale, other parts of the country, to go do workshops for other people, teaching them how to use technology in teaching. It was amazing. I had to run to tell my mom that, hey mommy, Sawiti had nominated top 50 finalists of the world teachers. And she was like, she knew Sawiti would go that far because he is wonderful. He teaches so great. I saw myself to be an average student, which he said
I used to call him Sawiti. Witty means wisdom, because with such capabilities and skills that he used in teaching us, we're expecting that the whole world will get to realize how good he is. I was really proud of him. I wish he'll be part of the top 10 and hopefully be the winner as well.
He was my high school teacher at Swedish Business. He taught me math and econs for 2 to 3 years. I was so proud of him. Like, a teacher who taught me has gone global. I think it was so good because his style of teaching is what has made me who I am today. He was the person who encouraged me to take on E-Maths. I completed with a B2 in E-Maths. Mr. Evans, that was more like a father. He checks up on every student, your performance. I remember once I was in class, he came to blast me for getting a D in science. Science is not what he teaches, but he was so concerned about how good I was doing at that point.
Personally, I was very close to Mr. Witty, and he was a father, he was a friend, he was ready for us anytime. He supported us emotionally, psychologically, academically, in every aspect of our life he was there. I wasn't surprised he got that far. Sawiti is a good teacher, he's a good man. He will go far, people will hear his name.
One thing that I truly admire about Mr. Evans is he stresses on understanding. He
stresses on we understanding the reasoning behind every concept that he presents in class, and that really helped us a lot as a student. And another thing is Mr. Evans is a very easygoing person. He was our teacher friend that we can approach at every point in time to discuss our academic challenges and even any personal issues that we were facing. And he was always willing to help us. And so I strongly advise current students that they take advantage of that. I must confess that his advice has helped me a lot, and I've been quite very successful in my education, first degree, second degree, and even my career path. So I am really happy that Mr. Evans has received this award, and I strongly believe that even more awards will be coming his way in the near future. Thank you.
First of all, I want to use your platform and this opportunity to say a big congratulations to Mr. Evans O'Day, whom we affectionately call Sir Weedy, for such a well-deserved and such a prestigious award. Congratulations. And I recall back in those days, besides teaching in class, he established math clinic so that he can teach students for free and also to enhance their understanding and their interest in maths. However, one of the best and profound memories that I want to share with you today was a time in his office where he asked me a question which gave me a positive turnaround in life. And the question was, what do I want to become in future? And back then, being a business student, my response was, I want to be a chartered accountant. And with smiles all over his face and laughter, he requested that I ask him the same question. So I did. And his response was something that gave me a different mindset. So he responded by saying that he wanted to be in a position where he would employ me, no matter what profession that I take. And from that day forward, I started thinking outside of the box, just so that I don't end up being an employee, but also an employer, changing and impacting lives of others. Besides that, with his counseling, he directed I do actuarial science at the University of Cape Coast. And by his guidance, I completed as the best graduating actuarial science student in 2016. So I just want to use this opportunity to say big congratulations to you. It's a well-deserved award. And I want to say that continue doing the good in the society, keep changing lives through your teaching, profession, and also.
Sariti.
Yes, madam.
How you saw some of your former students, yes, and they were talking about you. Is it a surreal feeling? How does listening to them make you feel?
That is what I said earlier. That what made me always feel fulfilled, and I feel happy anytime I hear them talking about what I did that has impacted their life.
Let me read a few of the messages that are coming through on our Facebook stream. And Pel Otu says, congratulations, good job, great man. Says, the guy is good in actions, love him. Sedan is saying, that's wonderful, Mr. Evans, that they've tagged you in the comments. So Sedan has tagged you. Abasa Opong has written, Evans has 3 solid qualities of a great teacher: empathy, going beyond the call, and most crucially, master of the art. Kudos. John Arthur says, congrats, sir. Judith Pepu, congrats. Sedan, by their fruits ye shall know them. So the Bible people are speaking. Congratulations once again. You are an inspiration. That's also Sedan speaking. John Arthur says, congratulations, Mr. Ode. We are so proud of you. You are a great man. Impact. You are a man of great impact. We love you. So someone is tagging something in there. I don't quite know what is happening, but on the WhatsApp line, and you can also send your thoughts as well. 0555561034. This one says, oh, a big congratulations to Mr. Evans. I'm even teary. He will go far. I'm sad I didn't encounter a teacher like him. That's Na from Usu. Now I share your exact sentiments. I think my teachers, to be fair to them, they tried. It's just the head was just not there. Abdullah from Tamale says, congratulations to Mr. Mensa. More blessings. Thank you for sending that to us. Good morning. This is Stephen at Bethesda Methodist Church at Aguna Street. Evangelist, you surely go far. We are proud of you. Congratulations. This is Lydia from Sweden School of Business. I want to say a big congratulations to Sir Evans. I'm not surprised because he's the best math teacher any student can encounter. I really miss his advice. Big congrats from Flex. So your people, all the messages that are coming in, just saying what a great teacher you are. How can we harmonize our teaching of mathematics in such a way that everybody gets a synchronized experience, good experience? Because some people do not have good experiences with math teachers. Yeah. How do you think we can improve the teaching of mathematics so that everybody, you know, enjoys teaching it and learning it?
Good. I would say it all starts with passion for the subject. You as a teacher must prepare yourself and love what you are doing. When you love what you are doing, then definitely you will always make it easy for the students also to learn. And so I believe that if we can take time and look at where maths is applicable in a real life situation and we use that first, let the students understand that whatever they are doing, it has that application, so you can bring the application to the classroom. If it's possible, you can even take them outside the classroom and teach maths. I do that a lot. Sometimes I just take them from the classroom, go to the field, let's see what exactly we want to learn. Quite recently at Motor School, I gave them a question on Pythagoras theorem. There in the classroom, the table is, I said, no, this table is perfect rectangle. So why not just draw a diagonal? Let's try to prove that Pythagoras theorem is true. So I gave it to them for them to do. By the time we finished, everybody was so happy to see that, wow, it's not about just saying it.
It's not imaginative. It's not something that real. Is a figment of your imagination. It's something that is actually real. I think that I speak for a lot of people when I say that you've made a lot of impact and people are grateful to you. Are there any key people quickly before we go that you would like to acknowledge? Since you're here already, I'll give you a few seconds to do that.
I think my parents, my father in particular, who the first day I was going to the village to go and teach, where I was posted first. I didn't want to go. But then he said, when you go, make difference. Make sure by the time you leave the village, people should cry that you are leaving. Let them feel your absence. And well and behold, when I was leaving, the SMC, the PTA, they wrote to the education office. I remember Mrs. Oku called me at the office, but then she was the director. She said, they've written that we shouldn't transfer you because when you leave this village, the school collapses. And in fact, that advice really helped me a lot. It has been keeping me all these years. A lot of teachers have supported me in my teaching career. Yes, one Madam Susie Aguna, Swedro Municipal Education Office, who has been supporting me all these years just to help me reach this height. I think she was even the one who advised me to apply for this global teacher, the Ghana Teacher Prize first, before I even got to the global level. And I want to acknowledge them. The NTC people have also done well because they supported us to reach this height. And their advice, the team that they chose just to help us prepare our story, they were fantastic. And so we thank them so much.
Sewiti, so I'll read just 3 more comments. This is coming from Bishop. Said the entire Gamsu fraternity is proud of you. God bless you. I'm Van Star from Swedru. I really miss you, sir. You'll be the winner. Bet me. Thank you for saying that. We are all praying that happens. My name is Frank Kishan, an old student of Swedru School of Business. I want to congratulate Sewiti for making it up to the top 10. He really deserves it. God should continue to bless him. And then this one, the last one. Looking at his mood and style in the studio, you realize that he will be a good teacher. And of course, he is. So this is what Ghanaians are saying about you. This is what they think about you. Ghanaians are proud of you. People from Swedru, I can't even read all the messages that are coming in, and you'd have to pardon because we are quickly running out of time. But people are grateful to you, and I think I speak for everyone when I say wish you well. You've made it to the top 10. No Ghanaian has got that far. For us, that's a win. But we're hoping that you bring the ultimate home, and then when you return with the top prize, we'll bring you back here again so that we can tell people the story of how it earned you the #1 spot. Top 10, great win for us, undoubtedly. And on behalf of the country, I can't even assume any tiny fraction of the president's powers, but I think I can say that Ghana congratulates you. GBC congratulates you. The whole team here congratulates you. You are the type of teachers we want to see in our classrooms. We want our children, our wards, to go through people like you so they don't become math phobia people like the rest of us, and they can actually practicalize what is taught in the classrooms. Thank you so much.
Can I say one more thing?
You want to say one more thing?
Yes, I want to thank Becky Foundation,
okay,
the global teacher team. In fact, they have given us this exposure. If not for their good selection, we wouldn't have reached this far. So we want to thank them about the Becky Foundation, the global teacher team, and then also my wife. I was just waiting for the Mrs. name to drop. So Mrs. Odei, she has really been supportive all these years, 21 years of teaching experience. She has really supported me.
Thank you also for agreeing to be part of us. The Mr. Evans Odei, he is also an evangelist with the Methodist Church Ghana, Behe Circuit particular. He is in the top 10 of the Global Teacher Prize Award. Is this something that we can vote for you to win? Because if we can vote for you, then we will vote and vote. But you know that it's purely on selection and merit based. Yes. So we are wishing you well, Mr. Thank you so much. It's just Sewiti. The man has a nice nickname. So Evans Odei, a math teacher with Archmotors Secondary School, Senior High School. He's joined us at the table. He's the first Ghanaian ever to make it to the top 10 list, and we are wishing him well. We hope that he brings home the prize. But for us, this is a win already, and we celebrated him today. Thank you for sending your messages across. And Valerie is getting ready to warm this all up. We've started warming it up already with Sewiti here, so she'll just pick it up on her side. You're still watching GTV Breakfast. We'll be back.
Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show.
I swore an oath on 7th January to be faithful and true to the Republic of Ghana. And that is exactly what I'm doing in the fight against Galamsey.
Yenjai Galamsey. Yenjai Galamsey. Yenjai Galamsey. Este Ghana mine Emrina Suo Galamsey SSA Jayo my kambum na ye mine say ye bebre Yenjai Galamsey Yenjai Galamsey Yenjai Galamsey Este Ghana Galamsey, yes you are say oh. Galamsey and forest I say oh. Galamsey, in call for a say a bunch of our bedem. Yenjai Galamsey. Yenjai Galamsey. Yenjai Galamsey Este Ghana. Ye mine Ghana, yes a man in seo. Ye mine Ghana, yes a man in seo. Ye mine Ghana, yes a man in seo. Galamsey master. Galamsey master. Galamsey master. Galamsey master. Galamsey master.
Today has been extra sweet, and the way he looks at me.
I have done everything by the book. It's on. Hey, but I have to get some condoms, Charlie.
Using a condom will protect you and your partner from HIV, STIs, and unplanned pregnancy. Condoms are an effective way for protection against HIV infection. Don't take risks. Use a condom every time. Always come prepared.
This advert is brought to you by the Ghana AIDS Commission and Ghana Health Service.
mede show wo eja oba ene hun konkrodi.
The groom is sick.
What?
Malaria.
Malaria. Lufat.
Injija wo malaria enka won to them. Lufat eye malaria to prekope.
And now you may kiss the bride.
Enter Pharmaceuticals and Research Center. And aye Lufat. Lufat etu malaria sententem. FDA ahwehwe sa edwede nkrato yi agya tum se eye.
Awo ya mama kai mo dofu bi.
Welcome to the lighter side of the breakfast table. By kindness of Airtel Tigo, this side is possible. So we are going to be spending some time with a gentleman by all standards, over 40 years of experience in the Ghanaian music industry and outside the Ghanaian music industry, and he's worked with almost all the big names that come to mind here in Ghana and outside Ghana as well. He was a one-time member of your GBC band, and I think he still plays from time to time. We'll find out from him what's happening with your GBC bit. And then also he's the acting president of the Musicians Union of Ghana, that's Musica, and I'm guessing you already know who my guest is, Versus Simons. My favorite song from him remains Belembe. Good morning, Versa. Welcome to this side of the breakfast table.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm fine. I'm okay. So, off air, you told me that the last time you played Belembe was this weekend.
Yeah.
So can we have you do that? I mean, I'm sorry, but can we have you do that?
Putting me on the spot. No, I have a band.
Right.
It's called the Besser Band, a very vibrant band.
Okay, guys.
And we play every now and then, most of the time at plus 233, once a month. And people enjoy the way we play. And so we always play Belembe. And the last time was my friend Kofinyanti's daughter's wedding.
Okay.
So we played for her. And it was a very beautiful evening, and we played Belembe.
Okay. Yeah. So you can still do that for us.
So you sing with me, yeah?
Here we go.
Odoye way, Belembe, Belembe, Odoye way, Belembe, Belembe, Odoye way, Belembe, Belembe, Odoye way, Belembe, Belembe.
Well, that's quite enough, because if you continue, I'm going to let you miss all your keys, because I can't sing to save my life. It brings me to my first question. I mean, you've been around for over 40 years. Your songs are still relevant. People still jam to your song. I don't know if we can say the same for the current crop of music we have in terms of content. What are your views on content, Ghanaian music, our content these days? What are your views?
Well, I mean, our time was different, and I would say most of the elements we used was passed down from, our elders, because we work with the elders, I mean, name it, Onyina, Kakeku, GBC, Honey. There were some names that we learned from, and so it was just, something that was trickling down, and we studied music also. We played instruments, so we have our own style. So we fused it with the Ghanaian high life, and we have what we have now. Our content always depends on what is happening in your life at the era that you live. And don't forget, somewhere along the line too, there was a big gap where the youngsters these days, missed out on what the Ghanaian music really is, and so they are writing and bouncing off from a different level. So I don't think we should blame them too much, but still I think there's a lot of good high life out there that people should go for.
So we're going to have this conversation. We're going to go deeper into it, because I'm really concerned about our content and unearthed talent. Before we get to talk about all that content, we'll take a break on the song Belembe. It happens to be a favorite of a lot of people in studio, so here's a break. Righties. Uncle Bessa, I'll choose to call you Uncle Bessa. I won't say Bessa.
Okay.
Uncle Bessa, what would be your advice then to the young people in the industry, those who have been around for a while, not as long as you, but have been around for a while, in terms of keeping their songs evergreen and keeping the Ghanaian content in there?
Well, I mean, I think what is happening is we have to also know about our heritage, which is high life music. And I think it's part of our identity that is missing in the up and coming musicians' music. You know, if you look across the West Coast, everybody have their indigenous music that they are fusing with the modern things that is going, but most of us have left it out. You know, so we have to now start. If I were them, I will go and listen to more old high lives and pick from it. Bisakeda started doing that, and it was really working for him. And I think Nigerians are doing that. You know, they're taking old songs and it's working. So I think that would be a good point to start from. You know your high life and fuse it. Most of my partners from Nigeria, they ask me, "Oh, what is happening to your music? You know, we're missing your guitar style, your percussion style, you know." And I think if they do that, it will bring the identity out, and there will be longevity in their music career as well.
Right. And then also, most of the young people I've spoken to complain that we do not put enough or throw enough light on the people who are unearthed. Apparently we have a lot of talent, but they're not coming out, and they can't come out, they can't come into the limelight because we are not putting enough. How do we find such talents, and how would you encourage players in the creative arts industry so that we can find these talents from across Ghana? How would you?
Yeah, I think you are very right, because there are a lot of talents, you know, untapped talents that are going about. I get a lot of them sending their music to me, but what we are missing is the missing link is the management, people that will manage them and take them across to the next level. I remember when I was growing up, you know, Pat Thomas had a band, but the band was formed by Cocoa Board, so it was called the Sweet Beans.
Okay.
And they were being managed so well. They did a lot of things, traveled all over the world, you know, with that. And I think we need such management, you know, either the corporate bodies or businesses should come into the entertainment world and then give them what the necessary support that they need. Also, I think the radio and television stations should also soften things and open gaps for these young musicians to be heard and seen, you know, so that at least we can have a different, you know, kind of music. People are also afraid to do high life music because they don't play it on air like, you know, they want to. And I tell you, there are very good high life music, you know, out there, but it's not getting the exposure that it needs. And everybody thinks just because some few people are making it in the what they call the dance hall thing, everybody wants to do a dance hall. But that has also made it difficult for us to have more musicians making it. I understand there are only a handful of musicians making it now, but we need to open it up.
Okay, talking about opening it up and something that's been trending a while, let's drive our attention a little. What are your thoughts on Shatta Wale's arrest and his whole demeanor, the social media hoax and all of that? You're the acting president of Music Sir. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I think we live in a country that is governed by laws and rules and regulations, and I don't want to see musicians, you know, come in confrontation with the law and things like that. And I think this should also be an example to all musicians, you know, to make sure whatever you do, you know, you protect yourself from such things. And also the management that manage our stars should also make sure that they don't get into such troubles. And I mean, having said that, let me also say this to the pastors, you know, who are making all kinds of
prophetic explanations.
Yeah, prophecies. And I think it doesn't help at all, you know. What about if you say this and you get it wrong? If you have something for an individual, call them and talk to them. Don't put it out there. Then it becomes like, you know, you want to use his fame, you know, yeah. So I think we should watch all this, and I pray that the law, you know, goes a bit lenient on him. I'm sure he has also apologized. You know,
he has.
I don't like musicians getting into trouble like that.
We don't.
Yeah.
Okay, Uncle Bessa. Uncle Bessa, tell us what's happening with Osibisa. Is it still in existence? Do you have pockets or
yeah,
in existence?
Yeah, Osibisa is still going. I mean, there is a whole new Osibisa thing going, which is trending. It's caused a whole lot of excitement, and that is in the UK. They've come out with a recording, a nice video, and if it wasn't a COVID, they were going to do a world tour.
Wow.
I think it's still in the pipeline. They're going to do it. Some of them are a bit old, you know, some of them cannot perform, some have passed away, but there is this new Osibisa that is so, I mean, you can Google it, you can get them on Facebook, and they are on all the modern trends, you know, so wow. I think it's happening. And Osibisa keeps on recruiting new members, you know, young people.
Okay, so it never dies out.
Yeah.
But why is it just in the UK? Why is Osibisa focused in the UK and not in Ghana?
Because that's where they are based. But me coming to Ghana, if you look at my band, we play Osibisa a lot. And also we've done a workshop. I have done a workshop at the universities with Osibisa, how they managed to break through and things. We've done it at Legon, Cape Coast University. I think we are yet to go to Tech.
Okay, sir, hold your thoughts on that. I mean, we wouldn't be having this conversation if it wasn't for Airtel Tigo. So we are going to take a little break and find out what Airtel Tigo has in store for Ghanaians. Here's a bit, guys.
This is Good When It's Family. They have just won 10,000 Ghana cedis. You too can win up to 100,000 Ghana cedis. Simply recharge, pour more, browse more, use Airtel Tigo Money More, and play the SMS trivia to earn points and win big in the Airtel Tigo promo. So why wait? Dial *500# now.
Airtel Tigo no, my dear.
Right, and so we are back, and Uncle Bisa, we're back to you. We're talking about why Osibisa wasn't here, and okay, now you keep recruiting young people, so the band never dies, and you were telling us amazing things that the new band does.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've also, like I said, conducted some workshop, and it was a good one. Also, my band, we play a lot of Osibisa songs, and we get the vibes, you know, to the people, like the way they do it, because I work with them. Okay. I know how they do it, and it's always exciting.
Okay. So now let's come back to Ghana and Musica. Before you came on as acting president, there were a little bit controversy here and there, but where do we stand as a country with the Musicians Union of Ghana? I mean, a lot of people, artists I've spoken to, they said, oh, there's no industry in the first place. Half of them are not even members of Musica. So where do we stand when it comes to Musica?
Well, you know, Musica has been through a bit of challenges, but now as I speak, Musica is on smooth waters. They're going to have their elections. As I speak, we formed an election committee, and they are vetting the new nominees from that Monday.
Okay.
So there's been peace. We've met, we've sat down and talked. You know, most of the time it's about people sitting down and talking. it gets to a point where people can't sit down and talk, and you know, they go around and talk. But now it is safe. Musica also, we've done so many good things. I mean, since I became the acting president, we've done a lot of workshops, you know, about royalties, publishing. Also, we've done an insurance, life policy insurance for our members. Some have started benefiting from it. And then going forward, we are working on getting pensions for our members. But I think one thing I want all musicians to know is that music is the mouthpiece for all of us. And it becomes stronger when everybody joins. If you go to UK, Elton John, all these Boy George, they're all members of music. So when we are bargaining, we have that power, you know. And most of them that join is based on hearsay. Musica is for them, you know, and we need the youth to join.
Well, when I ask them and they say they are not part of music, and ask them, why are you not part? They said, oh, the other people we've seen, they don't even get any royalties. Sometimes they get royalties, and it's like they're not motivated enough to join.
Okay, but that is wrong, because musica does not do royalties. Royalties is done by GAMO. We look after the good interest of the musician. If you have a contract, we have lawyers that will have a look at it. If somebody wants to cheat you or in any way, musica stands for you, and that is what we do. Also, I mean, since I took over, what we've been doing, we are encouraging and working with GAMO to put the right structures in place. In fact, we've gone very far, and I hope we can, you know, put that in place. When it comes to royalties, it's GAMO. Musica, we do something different. We conduct workshops, education, and then make sure. I want musicians to know what the business is all about, you know. And so if you go to GAMO, you don't come to musica for, when you go to GAMO, you know what to tell them for them to give you your royalties.
Okay, this is someone sent us a message, and he says, I'm enjoying Besa Simmons. Please ask him how he manages to look so fresh after all these years. This is from Gilbert in Accra.
I can tell you. I'll tell you what.
How does he stay fresh?
It's the music. Have you seen any musicians who look like they're hustlers? They look fresh. It's the music.
That's very true. Very, very true.
So that's your secret
to the soul.
Yeah.
So Gilbert, yes,
yeah,
says it's the music that keeps him fresh.
Very, very true.
And then also, my last question before we run up, because we don't have a lot of time.
Okay.
There are a lot of music streaming platforms now. What is your take? I hear there are a lot of Nigerians who have come. I don't know, that's what I'm asking you. Want to clarify. I hear a lot of Nigerians own these streaming platforms, and we have a lot of Ghanaian acts on there. Can you clarify or just shed more light on the new streaming apps that we have? There are so many now.
Okay, what I've come to realize is that most songs are being streamed on different platforms, and it's not the right owners who are reaping what they've sowed. So what we are doing is we are now working with Boomplay to bring all these things to one stop shop, so that anybody whose music is being played and somebody is collecting their royalties, we will make sure the money comes to them. Yeah.
We like the new musica and what the whole new musica represents, and we are wishing you success on the elections and all. Any final words before we sort of hush out of here?
I would say on the 12th of January we're having our elections. Musica is having our elections, and I would like all the voters to vote for me, because I've got something good for the future. Every young musician will have a pension. And like I gave you the life insurance policy, you're going to have your pension. And you are going to know about your trade. There's going to be music education, all the things you need that will make you a better musician. So by the time you get to my age, you'll still be doing music and looking fresh.
You guys.
Exactly, guys. And so guys,
two of my greatest favorite songs.
Yeah, Benin.
You should have seen us in that office. Everyone was just on their feet dancing, and
Thank you for giving us such amazing music. Okay, guys, so this is where we draw the curtains.
Can I do the quick birthday shout? Mrs. Juanita Banson of GBC from Raymond and Bernard, they are selfish. They want to exclude all of us. From all of us to you. And from all of us to you, Celestine Avi, today is your birthday. From all of us to you, Daniel also has our transport department. Yesterday was your birthday. Like all the automatic.
And then Jamila, this is from Ilyasu. Ilyasu is part of us here. He's a part of our team, and his little sister is Jamila. Today is your birthday, Jamila. So happy birthday. And then we'll be live again on your screens, 6 a.m. sharp tomorrow. Remember the hashtag to follow is GTV Breakfast, guys.
Ready for the now?
Yes.
The one who does not forgive breaks the bridge on which they'll have to pass. The one who does not forgive breaks the bridge on which they have to pass. African proverb, not my own. It's from Africa. Night.